Hi, everyone. I am Jess, and I'm glad to have you here today in my email marketing Q&A session. So let me take just a minute and get set up with my little control room here so that I can see if there is a live chat happening. Okay. Let's get all set up here. Alrighty. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can ask them during the chat anytime in your little chat box here on YouTube, and I will wait until the end to answer them just so that I don't get myself all confused and forget to say something that I wanted to say. So if you're just joining us, hi, my name is Jess, and I work as a first officer to creative business owners. So basically what I think that means is that I'm here to support you in any way I can in making your business run the way that you want it to run and in building your empire. So sometimes that means a consultation session, and sometimes it means that I create content like blog posts or email newsletters that help you learn something new about your business or how to run it better. And sometimes it means a live Q&A session where I answer your questions about email marketing. So I hope that today we can help you get your email marketing all set up and get you where you want to be with your goals for your email. Okay. So let's get started. Today I'm going to be talking about email marketing, and specifically I'm going to share some of the things that I've learned over the last month of doing some more intensive research on particularly the free email marketing software that's out there on the market right now. This is something that I've been wanting to look into more because since I work one-on-one with a variety of awesome and amazing clients, I get access to some of the more expensive email marketing software because my clients pay for it in their businesses, and that makes sense in their business because they have larger lists to manage. But in my business right now, my list is pretty small, which is okay, but I'm not at a place where I want to pay for email marketing software. So I am using free email marketing software in my own business right now, but I wanted to see how far I could go with making the free email software kind of behave like the paid email software. So I learned a lot about that over the last month, and along the way I've been paying attention to questions that people have asked me or have asked in Facebook groups that I'm a part of. And so today I'm just going to go through and answer a lot of those questions. And if you have questions, we can answer those at the end too. Okay. So the first question I have that a lot of people ask is, should I send my subscribers a welcome sequence that's sort of an all about me introductory sequence when they first sign up for my email list? So basically they're asking, so that people don't forget why they sign up for my list or who I am, I want to tell them about me and my work and what I make or do so that they can get more familiar with me and get to know the person behind the business. And in theory, that's a great idea. But my answer to this question is usually no. And here's why. If I signed up for your email list, I signed up for a specific reason, and it was probably for an incentive that you were offering to get me on your list in the first place. So for instance, maybe I started with, some kind of download that you were going to give me for free for signing up to your list. Or maybe I signed up because I really like your work and your shop sells out a lot, so I want to make sure that I know about it when you're about to update your shop so I can get in there and buy stuff before it all sells out. So in any case, whatever I signed up for, it was for something specific, but it wasn't just because I want to get to know more about you. So if you want to send your subscribers some sort of automated sequence as a welcome sequence when they sign up for your email list, make it something useful to them that directly relates to the thing they signed up for in the first place. So if you send all your subscribers a free digital download of some sort, then you can maybe make a sequence that builds on that download and gives them little lessons for that same subject area or how to get the most out of that download. Or you can have a little mini email class kind of a product that you're giving them for free, and they can have each email be a new sort of lesson. But don't just send them all about you, like your resume in an email sequence. If you want to tell them more about yourself, then what you can do is send them just a small portion of each of those emails. Let that be something that introduces you and your work. But each main portion of the email should be something that's actually useful to the subscribers, that they're actually going to want to open because they know that whatever is inside relates directly to them and what they want. Really, this is all about my cardinal rule for any communication that you have with your subscribers or your customers. It needs to be about them, not you. Because it's really easy to want to talk about ourselves and the work that we do because we care about this and we're really passionate, and that's great. But your customers don't want to hear about you. They want to hear about themselves and their own problems and how your products or services solve their problems, or how your products or services fulfill some sort of a need or a wish that they have. So talk about them, not you. All right, now, kind of related to that, the next question is, how do I hook up an automated sequence to a sign-up form? So this is going to be different depending on the software you use. I have just recently switched to MailerLite, and they make this pretty easy. I can make a group in my subscriber base, and I can call that group something specific. So for instance, if I was going to send an automated sequence about email marketing software, then I could make a group called Email Marketing Funnel. And then I could make a form that says, hey, sign up here if you want a free sequence of emails all about email marketing. And when people sign up via that form, they would get added to that group. And then I would create an automation sequence of emails to be sent only to that group. And the great thing about MailerLite is that I can make them part of that email marketing group when they sign up, and I can also add them to what I consider to be my main list, where everybody gets signed up for, so that they get my weekly Friday emails. So that way I make sure that the person not only gets the specific sequence they signed up for, but that they're going to continue hearing from me in my weekly Friday emails. And if they don't like those emails, they can unsubscribe anytime, but hopefully they find that those emails are just as useful as whatever sequence they signed up to receive in the first place. Now, if you're using MailChimp, there's not a super seamless way to do this, but basically you have two options. The first one is to make a whole new list just for that automation. So you start a whole new email list for Email Marketing Funnel. And then you make new sign-up forms just for that list. And when you embed those sign-up forms on your website, you tell people, hey, if you enter your information in this form, I'm going to send you this sequence of emails. So the downside to that is now you have two lists, a main list and a sequence list. And you run the risk that one subscriber might put themselves on both lists. So if they do that, then that means you don't want to send your weekly emails to both lists because they might get it twice. And it also means that MailChimp is going to charge you for that subscriber 2 times because they charge you per subscriber per list. So if you don't have a huge list, maybe right now that's not a problem, and you can cross that bridge when you come to it. But if you have a list where you're almost getting to the point of having to pay for MailChimp, or you're almost getting to the second tier or third tier where you have to start paying more, then you might want to really seriously consider before you make a whole new list just for an automation. All right, so option B in MailChimp is to use your main list sign-up form, the big one that has its own specific URL, and add a checkbox to it and make the checkbox say something like, check here if you want a free email sequence on email marketing. And if somebody checks that, then it automatically creates a group within your list, and you can set up a sequence to send only to that group. The problem with this plan is that you have to use that big sign-up form everywhere, or else people won't see the checkbox. And then, you can't use those smaller sort of embeddable forms like at the bottom of a blog post or something because they don't have the option to add the checkbox to those forms. So it just sort of depends which way you want to go with that. If you're using a service like ConvertKit or ActiveCampaign, then you can actually just make a tag for your automation sequence and have anybody who signs up for a particular form get that tag, and anybody who gets that tag get the automation. So they make that whole process fairly seamless. And just so you know, at the end of this, I am going to send out the replay to everybody who signed up on my email list, and the replay will also include a downloadable PDF document of all of my notes that I'm using as I answer these questions. So you don't have to feel like you have to furiously copy things down if I'm telling you something that you want to have for later. You can just wait until I send you the email with the PDF and you'll have all the notes right there. Okay, so another question I see a lot is, how do I link to my email list sign up from some other website that isn't my own? So maybe you have an Etsy shop and you want your Etsy customers to be able to sign up for your newsletter. Or maybe you're a knitwear designer and you want to link to your sign up list from your designer profile on Ravelry. So this is a pretty easy one. In order to do this, you need to find the URL of your actual sign up form. So in MailChimp, if you navigate to your list area and then click sign up forms, you can see the little EE-Pearl, usually it is, URL, and that is the URL that someone can go to get directly to your sign up form. In MailerLite, you could create a landing page with a unique URL and use that. And in ConvertKit and ActiveCampaign, same thing. Every form you create, you can view that form and see the URL for it up in your search bar. So whatever software that you use, you just want to be able to find the actual URL of your sign-up form. Then you go to the site where you want to link to your sign-up form and you just type out something like, hey, if you want to get regular updates from me, click here for my newsletter, and you paste in that link. Another option that I really recommend is that you actually create a page on your own website that is specifically dedicated to getting people on your email list. So this could be a little bit of a longer page with more details where you really explain the benefits of joining your list. What kind of opt-in am I going to get? Are you going to send me exclusive information that people who aren't on the list won't have? Will I get early access to your sales, or will I get a special discount on my birthday, or whatever it is that you're going to send people? Put all that information on the page and then embed a sign-up form for your list onto that page. And then that way, what you can do is send people to that page every time. And if you make it something really easy to say out loud, like justcookonline.com/list, okay, something very simple like mywebsite.com/newsletter or whatever, then that way not only can you link to that from other websites, but you can say it out loud anytime you're in a situation with someone where you're talking to someone who might benefit from being on your email list and you want it to make them easy for them to find your sign up. Okay, now I have a question from Amy. She wants to know, what are some quick things that I can do to grow my email list? Not major projects, okay? So we're not gonna take, weeks and months to overhaul your whole system, but what are some little tweaks you can do that will hopefully lead you to having more subscribers? So to be honest, I'm gonna give you some advice on this one that I am not fully practicing myself yet. And so that's something that I'm working on my own website. And it's always a growth kind of a thing and a work in progress, and you just have to do what you can when you can. But if you take the time to make a couple of small tweaks, then over time you can see more growth. So this is a sort of do as I say and not as I do kind of a situation. But the number one thing you can do to grow your email list is to make it super, super hit you over the head obvious how a website visitor to your website can sign up for your list and why they should want to. So you want a sign up form or a URL to your list sign up form on just every possible location that somebody who is new to your business and your brand might discover you. Okay, so here are some examples of those places. Etsy shop listings, like individual products, Etsy shop policies and about page, every single standalone page of your website, any kind of profile you have on any other website like Ravelry or Reddit or anything along those lines. at least one page on, or one spot on your home page of your website, your main landing page, but preferably more than one. In every social media profile you have on every social media site. If you have your own hosted shop, then put it in your shop listings on your own site as well. Okay, and also if you go places in person, take your list with you. So you should have a sign-up form on something digital like a tablet or a laptop where you can have somebody who is interested in your products put their email address in that form right then and there in that moment and get on your list. So this could be in-person appearances, like, you know, doing some kind of live art session at a local coffee shop. It could be a networking event that you go to. It could be a craft show or fair, anything where you are kind of representing your business out in the public. So recently I heard a marketing expert say, and it's gonna sound a little bit harsh, but she said, basically you have to treat your website visitors like they're kindergartners. And that's the thing, you have to make it super simple and super obvious, because your customers or prospective customers are not going to dig around and do a whole bunch of work to figure out how to get on your email list. So you need to serve it up to them on a silver platter of simplicity, basically. So when I went to your website, Amy, I didn't see like a super obvious place on your main landing page to sign up for your list, or a reason why I would want to. I know that you have like a newsletter landing page like I talked about before, but if that landing page isn't obviously clickable from your home page, then people may not find it very easily unless you tell them to go there. So from your homepage, where you have like 3 main points that you want people to explore, another point needs to be, hey, if you're short on time, sign up for my email list, and that way you can, you know, remember to come back later and browse when you have more time. And for everyone, really, you need a sign-up form above the fold on your homepage. So that's a newspaper term, and it basically means on a website that it needs to be right at the top of your page, somewhere that I can see in a single screen before I start scrolling, because a lot of people won't scroll. So there needs to be a big, bright, colorful sign-up box right up there at the top of your website that tells me not only here's where I can sign up for your list, but also in a very short amount of time, why I would want to be on your list. Okay, and then put another box like that near the bottom of your page, so that if I do like your site enough to scroll through it, by the time I get to the bottom, I have another reminder that this is an easy way for me to stay in touch with you and hear more from you and get more of your useful content. Okay, so the key element here is to come up with a super fast way to explain to people why they would want to be on your list. So maybe that's a free thing that you're going to send them. Maybe it's a coupon code. Maybe it's exclusive updates or whatever. But you need to not just say, sign up for my list, but you need to say, enter your email in order to get this. Okay, so that I look at that and I think, oh, I'd like to get that. I'm going to give her my email. That is worth the trade of my email to get that thing. Excuse me. So Amy, I've got some random advice for you today, and you can take it or leave it, but this is, you know, what I was thinking about as I started thinking about your business in particular and your email list. You make art, and it's really cool, and it's unique, and it has a very particular aesthetic. So I'm going to guess it also has a very particular clientele. So I feel like if you could make your email list feel like it was a secret society or a club of some sort, and that by signing up for your list, I am joining that club or society, and I am one of these cool, unique, funky people who likes your particular brand of art, then it makes me feel like an insider just for having signed up for your list. And if you come up with a name for the club and you refer to it as a club instead of a list, or as a society instead of a list, it just all makes it sound like a community. And it makes me feel like I'm in this really cool thing that other people don't necessarily know about. And then when I get previews to your art and everything else, I feel like extra special because I'm in that club, and we're the only ones who get to see your floating gallery early, and we're the ones who get first access to your work. So take it or leave it, but I just thought, that was an option for you to sort of entice people to want to join, is like kind of step behind this curtain and join this mysterious club that has really cool artwork on the inside. And I know you also do an opt-in gift, and it's a really cool one because I've gotten it myself. So just make that really obvious on your website, right on the front page. Hey, you're going to get free art if you sign up for my newsletter. So put your email here to get it. And really, for every business, the opt-in incentive is really important. So for a business like mine, I actually try to make at least a few different opt-ins every month. Eventually, it's my goal to have at least one new opt-in for every piece of content that I create. That way, no matter how somebody finds me, if it's through one individual blog post or a referral from one of my clients, there is an easy thing for them to sign up and get from me, to start learning from me right away. If you have a different business model than mine, then maybe you don't need multiple opt-in incentives. One is probably enough, as long as it's a good one. So give it some time and promote your opt-in. And by that, I mean, talk about it in all the places that you spend time online, and make it super obvious on all the pages of your website or anywhere else that someone might first come into contact with your business, and see how it does. Compare the number of people who visit that page to the number of people who sign up for your list. And depending on your email software, they might even tell you that. Like, this is the number of people who viewed your sign up form, and this is the percentage of those people who signed up for it. If it's doing well, then keep that opt-in. And if it's not doing so hot, then next month or next quarter, experiment with something else. If you don't know what to send, then maybe ask your current subscribers what they would want. And then, if at all possible, go above and beyond what they asked for to give them something that is just 100% going to delight and wow them. And that way, when somebody comes to your website, they think, I have got to have that thing. That is an amazing deal for just an email list. If you're stuck with a list for any ideas on how to do these opt-ins or what kind of opt-ins to send, I actually have a whole download of email opt-in ideas. So if you haven't seen that before, I'm going to put it in the bottom of the transcript for this Q&A. So you can download it when I send you the transcript, and maybe something in there will, strike your fancy and give you some inspiration. Okay. Let me just double check that we don't have any new questions. Okay, looks like not. So hopefully that has helped you with every questions that you have about email marketing software. If it didn't answer your question, you can always, hit reply to any of my weekly Friday emails, and I will be happy to help you with something. And if it's a really complicated situation, we can always hop on a Skype call and talk about it for an hour and really break it down and figure it out. So thank you very much, and I hope that you have a great day. Bye-bye.